If you're trying to lose weight and need new ways to cook chicken breast, but don't want the same boring meals night after night, these 5 healthy chicken breast recipes will keep things quick, tasty, and high in protein. So we're going to kick things off with a belter of a fakeaway. So if you're someone who loves a takeaway, but you're trying to save some money and eat healthier, this is for you. You just need to coat your chicken breast in some corn flour, soy sauce, red chili powder, equal measures of garlic and ginger, and a half teaspoon of salt, good amounts of black pepper, and then get your hands in and mix all of that up so it's nicely combined. Pop this in the fridge, give it about 15 minutes to half an hour while you prep the rest of the ingredients and allow the flavours to infuse into the chicken. I'm cooking these little bad boys in the air fryer, but if you don't have one, you could easily just pan fry them or cook them in the oven. While they're cooking, you're going to add an onion and red pepper to a wok with some oil on a high heat and cook that for a couple of minutes until they start to soften. Add in your equal measures of garlic and ginger. I just use the combined stuff from a jar, and you want to fry that for about 30 seconds. It really doesn't require a long time. Then add in your sriracha sauce, some tomato ketchup, rice vinegar. If you don't have any, you could use white wine vinegar instead. I'm using reduced salt soy sauce because I'm cooking with the kids, and some corn flour mixed in a little bit of water. Now, keeping that on a high heat, you're just going to cook that for a couple of minutes, add the chicken back in once it's cooked through, and let everything get coated in that lovely sauce. It's thick, rich, super glossy, and you want to eat it right away. Hope you enjoy this one, and make sure to give it a little garnish with some sesame seeds before you get stuck in. Next up, you want to get your slow cooker out of the cupboard, and we're going to make this absolutely delicious set and forget recipe for chicken satay. We don't need to do any pre-cooking, we're just bunging everything into the slow cooker, so it's super easy if you want something absolutely delicious to come home to from work. What we're going to do is just get your slow cooker and add in a can of coconut milk. Don't use light coconut milk because that can split, so we don't want to use that. Mix up some corn flour and a little bit of water for thickener. Peanut butter, I'm using crunchy, but you could use smooth, makes no difference. Add in some of that crushed garlic paste, along with 30 grams or 2 tablespoons of red Thai curry paste. This isn't very hot, so even if you don't really like spicy food, don't worry about it. 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, the juice from a lime, so about 2 tablespoons, 2 teaspoons of fish sauce. You have to add this. It doesn't taste fishy, but it just gives it that delicious, rich Thai flavor, along with some sugar. Then you just need to whisk that up and then dump your chicken breasts straight into it. If you had some time on your hands and wanted to give this recipe even more flavor, you'd brown the chicken first in the frying pan just to get some color on it before tipping it into the slow cooker. For cooking, we're going to give it 2 hours on high or 4 hours on low. Make sure you use a meat thermometer to make sure the chicken's fully cooked through, so that'll happen when it gets to 74 degrees. If you're enjoying the recipe so far, please do hit that like button. Once your chicken is ready, like I said, make sure to use the meat thermometer so you know it is perfect, nice and juicy, because a lot of people overcook their chicken in the slow cooker and it gets all dry. Even though it's in liquid, it can still dry out. So once it's ready, shred it, plate it up, give it a little garnish with something green, a little squeeze of lime over the top is perfect to finish, and you can just get stuck in. It goes really well with rice, or you can have it with lots of veggies. Next up, we're going for a quick and easy chicken buna, one of the most popular curries on the takeaway menu, but we're going to make it at home and it's going to have a fraction of the calories. Cracking midweek, but also at the weekend if you want something a little fancier. I should also mention at this stage, if you want all these recipes written down, you can get them all inside my high protein recipes app. There's a link to download it in the description below, and we've got over 450 recipes and we're adding new ones every month. So all these recipes, including this chicken buna, are in the app. Anyway, you're just going to fry your chicken to get some colour on it. It doesn't need fully cooked through at this stage. That'll happen when we add the saucy ingredients. Set it aside, pop the pan back on the heat and add your veggies, and we're going to fry them for a few minutes until they start to soften. To that, we're adding in the trusty equal measures of garlic and ginger, along with the spices that you see on screen. We're going to tip them in and just give it about 30 seconds or so of more frying. You always want to cook your garlic separately to your onions. A lot of people cook them together, but they end up either having hard, undercooked onions or overcooked garlic. So garlic needs way less time. Then once that's ready, add in your chopped tomatoes, some of your whole spices, along with a little splash of water. Pop the chicken back into the pan, and then we're going to mix everything through, make sure it is nicely combined, and keeping the heat on quite a high heat. We're going to simmer that for about 10 minutes until the sauce reduces down. It looks thick and delicious like this, and your chicken is fully cooked through. Go on a wee scavenger hunt to remove the whole spices, and then you just want to plate up, garnish with some more coriander. As always, this will go well with the usual suspects, a little bit of rice, naan bread. Just get stuck in and enjoy. Next one, continuing that fake away, take away theme, is spicy, sticky and sweet Korean chicken. Now this has got a little secret ingredient that you probably won't expect. It gives it a delicious sweetness without adding a lot of calories. So by now you probably know how we're starting off pretty much every recipe. We're adding our chicken breast into the pan on a high heat, and we're going to add some soy sauce to this to just give it that really dark, rich colour. And we're going to cook that for a few minutes just to get some colour on it. It doesn't need cooked through, just like the chicken buna. That will happen when we add the liquids. And we're going to remove from the pan, set aside, pop the heat back on, add a little bit of oil, and then add in your veggies and give them a fry for a couple of minutes until they start to soften. I typically don't cook my veggies for too long when I'm doing dishes like this because I like them to have a bit of bite, but it's entirely up to you. Then we're adding in the garlic and ginger paste again, and we're just going to give that a further 30 seconds or so before adding in our liquids. Now for the sauce, we're going to use Pepsi Max or Diet Coke. Yes, that's our little secret ingredient. It just gives it a lovely little bit of sweetness and some caramel flavours without adding in any calories basically. Then we're going to add in our gochujang, I'm not sure how you pronounce this, but it's basically Korean chili paste, and it's becoming super popular at the moment, so you can get it in pretty much all the supermarkets. I mean, I got mine in Tesco's. If you're not in the UK, that's a large supermarket here. Adding the rest of the ingredients, and again keeping it on that high temperature to allow it to thicken up and reduce down really quickly. We're going to give it about 10 minutes or so until the chicken's cooked and the sauce has gone thick and glossy. Plate it up, give it a bit of a garnish with some spring onion and sesame seeds, and get stuck in. Right, the final recipe is probably my favourite. It is chicken chasseur, and you might not have had this for about 20 years. It's making a bit of a comeback, but it is deliciously rich, super easy to make, and really low in calories. Now to give this recipe lots of flavour, we're going to just give the chicken a quick pan fry before we're adding it to a slow cooker. If you don't have a slow cooker, you can just cook this in the oven like a casserole, but I prefer using the slow cooker for this. So just cook the chicken breast until you get some colour on it, so high heat, a little bit of oil in the pan, and then once it looks something like this, just remove from the pan and set aside. Reduce the heat down to medium, add in your onions and mushrooms and fry them until they've softened, and then add in your garlic right at the end and just give it a further 30 seconds of frying. The next thing we're going to do is add in some white wine, and we're going to burn off most of the alcohol. We're going to reduce this pretty much all the way down. This is a thing that a lot of people don't do. They just put the wine straight into the slow cooker and the recipe tastes too vinegary and acidic. You want to burn off the alcohol in a frying pan first. It concentrates the flavour and just makes the whole recipe taste a lot better. So reduce it by about a third to a half, and then add that to the slow cooker along with some chicken stock, tomato puree, corn flour mixed in water to give it the thickness, and then we're going to add in some dried thyme or fresh if you have it. Same with tarragon, fresh if you have it, if not just dried. Mix it all through, then add in the chicken breasts. For cooking this, you're going to give it about 2 hours on high or 4 hours on low, just so long as the chicken gets to 74 degrees Celsius inside. Plate it up, get stuck in, and thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.